is now we're gonna be talking about um parang in relation to parents. Okay, so this one was asked to me by a millennial who has depression. So she said, "How do we let our parents know that we have depression and get them to understand?" Okay, first of all, you can't get people to understand our situation. Actually, anyone for that matter. You can't, not just our parents, I mean, our friends, other people. We can't get people to understand. We cannot control the minds of other people and what they think. Okay? So, um, sorry, that's my phone. It's telling, yeah, it's telling me to pray. Okay. Yeah, so how do we let our parents know? Actually, as simple as just letting them know na, hey, mom, dad, I need to tell you something. I'm going through this, depression and ganyan, and I think I need help. Okay, so just by saying that, actually, you've done your part. Expressing that to your parents, you've done your part. But do not expect them to do something about it, because if you expect them to do something about it, then yun na, nakatali na yung depression mo on them, and you're gonna just keep blaming them for your situation, diba? So for not improving your situation. So you do your job by telling them, by letting them know, and it's up to them now. Okay, so in my case, um, it was only just recently, yeah, last year that my dad was able to understand my situation. I don't know if it's because of the generation gap, like many adults think na wala dati during our time, wala yung depression na yan. And I think it's because ano rin it's the technology, us millennials, we prefer to just message instead of see people face to face. And when someone is depressed, it can be popped out in the news. It can pop up in the news now, unlike before. There probably have been many cases already pero unheard of lang. Okay, so pero I think technology and social media has a huge part in the increase of cases of depression. I think kasi nga, even if social media is meant to bring us and connect us, diba? Bring us together or connect us, it also tends to isolate us from the world, from the real world. Okay? It can also cause jealousy kasi when we see yung mga IG ng friends natin, like, oh, nagta-travel siya, ganyan, ganyan. Then you feel like, oh, baka naman, that may tend, you may tend to then compare yourself with other people. Okay? So, it was only recently that my dad was able to understand, and it was through, um, what do you call this news that he saw. So just one morning, we set up a date with one another, and that same morning uh he saw primary news na about this person committing suicide because nga may depression, ganyan ganyan. And my dad, although he said sorry to me many times na, he said sorry to me again when we met up, and he said, Julia, I now understand that it is serious. It's a serious thing. It's not something that we should just brush off. If somebody says that I'm depressed, it needs to be taken seriously. It can't just be like, oh, wala lang yan, you're not crazy or whatever. So, and my dad is just, he's a changed man. From, if you heard my story during the last Transformation Tuesday, and I'm so happy. Like, praise God, he is I'm so happy with all the changes that he's had in his life, the way he parents, because I still have a younger brother, the way he treats us children, how he treats my mom, sobrang nag-improve. Talagang, but yeah, change takes time. Change takes time, and it doesn't apply to just people who are depressed, even to people with other, like, personality issues or whatever. So, um, what do you call this? In time, I just kept trusting in the promise, that I am not alone, that I've God never left my side, and I will change. I will eventually change. I just have to keep working on it. Um, so yeah, we can't, again, going back to the question, we can't make people understand their situation, but do your part to express and let them know that you are going through something. Okay. So, yun, as a parent, how do I make sure that I'm not pressuring my kid too much. Okay, as a parent, how do I make sure that I'm not pressuring my kid too much? Kasi, so this was asked sa akin by a parent, and he was kind of scared na baka he might be, pressuring his kid too much, na it might be like triggering kids depression, or might cause his kids depression. Okay, so I would recommend that you that parents okay that parents practice authoritative parenting. Okay, so authoritative parenting is different from authoritarian parenting. So authoritarian can be, an example would be like, oh, wag mo gawin yan, or gawin mo to, ganyan. So parang it's just like insisting that they do something without them understanding, and not really seeing na, is he making me do this because he loves me, or just because he wants me to. Okay, so that's authoritarian parenting. But authoritative, you have this, you're warm with the kid, you are involved with the kid, but at the same time, may halong firmness also. Syempre, may discipline. You can't just let go of your kid and bahala na siya. That's also a different kind of parenting na, parang neglectful parent. I forgot what you call it, but um, yeah, you want to practice authoritative parenting where you have a mix of, being understanding. You're basically their parent and their friend at the same time. You can go down to their level and understand where they are. Okay, so um, that's how you know that you won't be able to pressure your kid too much, kasi the kid understands whatever you want him or her to do. Alam niya na you want him or her to do that because you love her. You love your kid. Also, another thing I would recommend is the sandwich approach. Okay, so a sandwich approach is, for example, you want your kid to, maybe, let's say your daughter is wearing, like super super duper short shorts. Okay, and let's say you're a very conservative kind of parent, and you don't want your kid to have her butt showing. Um so you want her to, let's say, wear, hindi naman pants or whatever, like wear, decent kind of like length, with shorts with a decent kind of length. So you can sandwich go do the sandwich approach by, saying something nice about the kid, like, hey, I love your style, I love how you get to express yourself through your own fashion, your own style. However, I think, yeah, and then that's when you say what you want to say. However, I think, you since, as your mom, and I want you to be respected by the people around you, I think it would be best, if you can wear your shorts, but maybe, not a little past your butt, just so it won't show. Okay, kasi, you want to say, you want people to respect you because you're so beautiful, and then that's when you, like, you kind of like close it with, another like praise, or like, or for example, you want your kid to do his or her homework, then you can end it with like, don't worry, kaya natin yan, you're not alone. Okay, so you can end the conversation with that. Okay, so in the end, your kid doesn't feel na she was criticized, or, yeah, parang you have the kid will understand that you have good intentions. You love the kid, you love your child, and you basically just want what's best. Okay, so I also got this question na, what if, in relation to the sandwich approach, what if I start with a praise and the kid already expects a criticism? Okay, that's actually no problem. Why? Because you're gonna still, even if, let's say, oh nga, your kid already assumes na, okay, the reason why ang ganda-ganda sinasabi niya sa akin is because may sasabihin siya, she wants me to do something. But what matters is that you cushion it with another praise. Kaya nga, it's praise, diba, or compliment, your whatever you want him or her to do, yung comment mo, yung concern mo, and then another compliment or praise. The last compliment part is very important, because that's how the kid knows that you really love him or her. You don't end it just like that na, by the way, I want you to do this. Ikaw na bahala dyan. Bye. Okay? So, the kid wants to know na I'm not alone. You're gonna help her. You're gonna be by their side. So that's how you do sandwich approach. And okay, so in answering, these questions about parenting, I actually consulted the help of my mom. Okay, because I'm not a parent, I'm a parent of cats, and that's a totally different thing. Okay. I don't have to deal with their like personality or what. So my mom said, uh, a way on how to practice a way on how to practice authoritative parenting, which is the one that I recommend, is it's similar to like flying a kite. Okay. So flying a kite kasi you're as a parent, 'di ba, hawak mo yung string. Hawak mo yung string. Um and you need to also at some point let your kid go. Hindi naman like let go. You're holding the string but you're loosening it bit by bit. And at the same time, kasi diba, when you fly a kite, hindi lang siya lilipad on its own, right? So you have to also run with the kite. Diba? To fly a kite, you need to run with the wind, diba? Para it goes up. So, very important yung running with the kite. Kasi as a parent, they need to know that you're always there with them. Hindi yung parang pinabayaan mo lang. They need to know that you are with them throughout the process. So if they're having trouble with school, okay, then they need to know that you're gonna be with them every step of the way, even if they've failed a couple of quizzes, failed a couple of missed certain requirements for school. They need to know that you're still there, okay. And the reason why you're holding the kite, kasi as a parent, um, uh, the kid also needs to know yung boundaries niya, okay. So I'm already 24 and I'm already living outside of the house. I've been living outside of the house for probably 2 years now. Like I started living alone soon after college. And talagang no allowance. Talagang I was really cut off before graduation. And in a way, my parents did not let go of that string. Why? Kasi they made me know that they will always be there if ever I need help. Um or and there are times na they they comment on some of my the stuff that I produce online. They give me their insights, they give me to kind of set boundaries. They make sure na I'm always grounded. I'm always grounded. I'm always not grounded na you're grounded. I'm always grounded in faith. I'm humble still. So they basically keep me sane. And I'm very thankful for them. I'm thankful for that they do that to me even if I am 24 years old. I can be, I can basically do whatever I want, but they make sure na I always do what is pleasing in the eyes of God. So yeah, basically my mom said it's like flying a kite na and never mo yon ibibitawan as long as you are, even if sobrang tanda ka na, you still hold on to that kite because you are a parent and you still have your responsibility to your kid. Yun. Also is another tip would be meeting halfway or having this compromise with your kid. So for example, an example would be that kasi nowadays a lot of us like to party, a lot of us like to go out. You want like, mom, dad, can I go to the party? Can I go to this sleepover, whatever? So I think having this compromise would be best. Not necessarily like, hindi, uwi ka ngayon. Ngayon instant, like, uwi ka na. The kid wouldn't want to open up to you anymore. They'd probably just takas or hide stuff behind your back. But so I think it would be best like to have that compromise. Like, can I uh have tsaka, parents have to meet halfway kasi I understand like parties siguro back then used to start at 8 p.m. But nowadays let's parties start at like 10 p.m. So um you need to the parent may ask like, oh, bakit naman if ever like how come 3 a.m. ka pa uuwi? Kasi 10 a.m. usually nag-start. Okay, baka that's too late kasi I need to also have my sleep. So maybe 1, maybe 1 would be okay. 1:30. Okay, 1:15. Ay, pero parang may compromise. na basically it's a win-win situation. You want your kid kasi to be able to express how she feels and be able to also um have that freedom to also yung explain bakit gusto niya ganito. Bakit gusto niya ganito. Okay. Um you can also, and another thing that I mentioned a while ago is not to compare, not to compare the success of the kid with other kids. So a way to make sure that you are not pressuring your kid too much is by not comparing the success of the other kid with the success of the kid who's talking to you or who you're talking to. Um yeah, need to talk about improving their parenting skills. Okay. Another thing I asked my mom kasi um what do you call it? Their parents na hindi similar yung parenting styles. May iba na, like for example, the dad is the authoritarian and the mom is the authoritative. Yung warm, the first person the kid can open up to, ganyan. So, the parents will have to talk about that. They also need to talk about their parenting styles to make sure na um parang isa lang yung message na uh, isang message lang yung uh, or isa, not message they have the same rules or they're like on the same page kasi may iba na like I'll ask my mom, oh, ask your dad, and then I'll ask my dad, no, ask your mom, kasi iba yung rules nila, iba yung beliefs nila, iba yung so I think it's important for parents to, even if let's say they're different, at least have one, like a single rule or a similar rule, just so not to confuse the kid. Okay. um it also needs to be agreed upon sa parents na, okay, if you are authoritative, or you have that authoritative would it be okay with you na the kid would open up to me first, 'di ba? Parang at least kasi between the two there needs to be at least one person na the kids can open up to, kasi it's very important. Okay, and then the person who's authoritarian can work on his or her parenting skills. Okay, so yun, kailangan nun. And also, um, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the love language. Okay, so love language, yeah, there are five, diba? Five love languages. So to make sure that you let your kids know that you really love them, it's also very important that you know their love languages. Kasi the love languages are touch, service, gifts, words, and wait, again. Touch, touch, words, service, time, gifts. Did I say that? Gifts, words. Yeah, okay. So, um, yeah, the thing about love language, when, like, for example, my love language is time. My love language is time, service. Those are the top. Okay. If somebody gives me a gift, I'm definitely gonna appreciate it. But it won't make me really feel na I'm super loved. Okay. It won't make me feel, kasi hindi ko yan love language eh. People may think like, grabe Julia, you're so ungrateful. Like, I give you a gift and you don't appreciate it. I mean, yes, I appreciate it, but that's the thing. It's called a language. So if I do not understand the language that you are talking to me in, or the language that you're using, wala, it's just gonna be like past my ears, and I won't really absorb it, right? It won't mean anything to me. So that's how it is when it's a love language. So it's important na, actually for anyone, it can't just be your kids, maybe your partner, your parents also. You also need to know the love language of your parents, because you want to make sure, you want to assure them that as they grow old, they're gonna be taken care of, mga ganon. So um yun, for example, si Enzo, so Enzo is my partner, and I had to make sure that I know his love language. So his love language is words, which is actually the love language of a lot of guys. Okay, so ako, hindi ko yung love language, di ba? That's my service and time yung sa akin. So it's the love language of words is very foreign to me. So I make it a point na I compliment him like, hey, you're I you're improving your physique. I see that ang galing mo na speaker kanina, blah 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 blah. So not naman to make the person become mayabang or what, but they need that to to feel that they are loved. So it's important to get to know the person's love language, and always everybody has a love bank. Every person has a love bank. Okay, so you wanna keep adding on to that bank. Kasi um, wala akong wala akong mabibigay kung wala akong ma-withdraw na love if wala rin akong nalagay. So it's also important that I fill up my own love bank.